happy to be here this morning. I've been traveling. I just hired a new manager, and it's been great, but this was set up before that, and I booked my own stuff. I booked a show yesterday, and a show today, and a show tomorrow, but I didn't look at the timing. I finished last night at 9:30 in Dallas, Georgia, and then I drove here, and it was foggy like the whole way, so I was going like 30 miles an hour, so I'm wide awake, if you can imagine. I'm very happy to be there, though. I did some, speaking of Google, after we were talking, I'm like, I'm going to go down here. I mean, you know you're in the South, and even the church's name is Beulah. You know? I was like, I got to do some research, and it's Escambia County, is that right? So I Googled, and if it's online, you know it's true, right? So I Googled adults in Escambia County. Don't do that. Apparently, and obviously this doesn't apply to you guys here, but this is what it said online. Average adult in Escambia County will walk 912 miles every year. So, I don't know, slow down. I don't know what that means. But they also drink 22.4 gallons of alcohol. I know, so apparently you guys get like 42 miles to the gallon. You're not alcoholics, you're hybrids. That's great. All right, after you were like, you just said alcohol, and that is just, some of you are laughing, the rest are looking up here like, is that guy walking funny? It's okay, the people in the back are like, when did Michael Keaton start doing comedy in churches, right? I'm not Batman, but I did walk funny. I'll just talk about it right in the front. My left side is paralyzed. I can't use my left side, but I already know, I've been here less than an hour, and I already know I'm in a room with a bunch of positive people. Am I right about that? I'll tell you what, clap if you agree with the statement, look on the bright side. Who agrees with that? That's what I thought, but I don't care. Because this morning we're going to look on the right side. I'll say look, you say on the right side. Ready? Look. Awesome. So now we're all on the same team. You guys can do this too. For me, I still can't use my left arm. But friends, I used to be in a wheelchair. I lived in a wheelchair for 3 years, and I'm not in a wheelchair anymore. Amen. That's pretty cool, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes people clap there. No, you don't have to. It's just one thing, you know. I can't. Really? You like that, man? I can do that all day. Just think about it. If I want to be the Karate Kid, I only got to wax on. I caught a fish yesterday. It was this big. As you can see, there's advantages, friends. You just got to look on the right side. It's beautiful out today. I was in Miami 2 weeks ago. It's 94 degrees. I went back to the hotel. I just wanted to do a swim, right? What? Shut up, I can swim. Only in circles, but you got to look on the right side. And then they wanted to take me dancing. You guys are Baptists, you don't even dance. But I don't like going to dance clubs, man, because every time I go to dance club, the same thing happens. You guys start doing that YMCA dance. Yeah, you're laughing. Look at these girls laughing. You're laughing. You're doing the YMCA. What do I got? LOL. But I'm trying to be positive. That's reverse. I'm trying to be positive. Trying to look on the right side. And here's the thing I want to talk about this morning. You can always look on the right side. Every one of us in this room has some stress, has some trouble in our life. Mine happens to be physical, but you can always look on the right side. You just have to figure out what it is. I promise you, no matter how big the problem is, there's always a right side. I mean that. Like, I travel all over this great country, friends. I can't use my left arm, but I can park anywhere I want. Well, except in Florida, man. Is this whole state a nursing home? Seriously? Like, there's supposed to be... You go to Target, there's like 48 blue spots, and they're all... So, I'm not kidding. I did a show in Tampa. It was like Cocoon Reunion Week, you know what I mean? This lady had a birthday party. The candles cost more than the cake. No, seriously, she had an autographed Bible. How did that happen? Oh, man. When you guys don't get a joke, you don't get it all together. That's awesome. Oh, man, I'm supposed to get the big parking, right? You guys know this, handicapped people, we get big parking, and we get big bathrooms. Right? Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. I stopped at Wendy's not far from here. I went into that handicap stall. Two guys in there playing racquetball. Yeah, it's like, there's a problem for for me, because as you guys know, after you go to the bathroom, you wash your hands. Okay, like 4 of you. That's cool. You know, whatever. In my case, hands up, right? So I get outside the racquetball court, and now I've got to use your faucets. And look, I'm all about Earth Day and the environment. We've got to be conscious of that stuff. And the faucets will spring back so you don't leave the water running, right? This is a good concept, isn't it? Whatever, two-hander. Here's me for the next 7 minutes. I'm like... soap on my hand, right? Now I'm stuck in this Wendy's bathroom, and I'm thinking, where else in a bathroom can I find water? So now I'm washing my hands, right? Oh, by the way, I only have to put quotes at the beginning of a word. Take your time, that's funny. So I washed my hand. It's dirtier than before I got in there, and it's blue. I just want to leave. I want to get out of this place. But I can't leave. You guys know this is true. I can't leave before the paper towel holder is making fun of me on the way I know you know this is true. Big red letters in 2 languages and a picture. Please pull down with...
both hands.
Both hands. If I can pull down with both hands, am I going to jam my only good one into the toilet? I got to change the subject. He's like, now he's got alcohol and toilet. You got to look at the right side. That's what I try to do. I drive all over the country. I have a great time. I got the parking. I got the big bathrooms. Oh, here's a great one. Every guy in this room, your whole life, you get a phone call probably 3 times every year. Every guy in here. But I never get this phone call. Hey, Derek, I'm moving Saturday. Can you, and I have a truck. Isn't that awesome? And I know. I drove by, on I-20 in Georgia, I drove by Six Flags. My feeling is you're never too old for Six Flags or Disney World. Clap if you're with me on that. I mean, you guys are really good. When you go to these places, thrill rides, all that stuff, and do you guys know what I get when I go there? She's like, alive! Apparently I got in front of somebody's family last summer. Look at the handicap pass. It's like the golden ticket. Actually, Six Flags won't call it the handicap pass because the word handicap, that's not magical or whatever. They call it, I'm not making this up, the medical pass. Seriously? The medical pass. Apparently I used to be an invalid. Now, I'm a doctor. Alright, half of you guys are laughing. The rest are so mad that I cut in front of you. It's great. Because there's one thing you don't realize. I can take 4 people with me. Right now. All you gotta do is check out my ad right now on Craigslist. I'm not kidding, Google it. $385 per day and I'll go with your family to Disney World. That's called looking on the right side. You see how that works? And you guys should do this too, man. Everybody, when you have trouble in our life, we're going to talk about that in a minute, when you have trouble, there's always a right side. This applies to everybody. Think about this. Somebody in this room knows somebody that's blind, okay? If somebody's blind, what happens to their other senses?
Increase.
They go up. They can hear better than you and I can hear. I love that. If somebody's deaf, they can see better than you and I can see. I think that's awesome. And a lot of people don't realize it's the same thing for somebody like me. You probably didn't know this, but friends, when you're paralyzed on just your left side, we can read minds. Like I can tell right now that you guys don't believe me. You know what? I could prove it to you. Clap if you want me to prove it to you. I thought you might have trouble believing me, so what I did is, before you guys got here, I brought this envelope. It's been here the whole time. You've been wondering, what's in that envelope? That's why I did it. See, it's been here the whole time. I've made some predictions. They're inside this envelope. I'm going to read some people's mind right here in this room, okay? We are ready for this? Put your seatbelts on. It's pretty cool. First, I can start, and it's got to be people I haven't met, which is pretty much everybody. We'll start right here. Young lady with a beautiful smile, right here. She's just wiping her eye. Yeah, she's trying to act like she's not looking at it. She goes, young lady with a smile. She goes. You can stay right there. I'm just gonna. Did we set this up before today or anything? Have we ever met? Have we ever done anything to set this up? No, we haven't. Okay, so I'm just going to read you my, it's really famous. You can stay right there. Okay, first of all, what's your name? That's correct. Okay, the 4 girls here, you're not buying it, are you? All right, let's go purple shirt. I'm going to read your mind, okay? All I need you to now listen, I've made predictions. They're in this envelope. They've been here the whole time. I can't change it. My prediction's in there. All I need you to do is think of a number between 1 and 1,000. It doesn't even, any number. Okay, don't say it yet. Do you have your number? Okay, cool. Now all I need you to do is just be totally honest. I want to prove this to everybody. You don't have to help or hurt or just be totally honest, okay? The number that you're thinking of right now that's in your head, yes or no, is that number 211? Yes or no? No? Now most of you believe me, but I think some of your friends still aren't buying it. You're shaking your head. The turquoise, where did you get the batteries for that shirt, man? All right, I want you, here we go. Think of somebody famous, you know, your favorite actor, whatever, but somebody famous, okay? You think you're thinking of it right now? I already made you think of it. I have a picture of the person that she's about to say in the same envelope. Okay? So you got your person? Nice and loud. Who's your famous person? Taylor Lautner, okay? You realize nobody in here knows who that is. But it doesn't matter, because I have a picture of Taylor Lautner in this envelope, guys. When he was 6 months old. Or she, I don't even know. Alright, now, I think everybody in this room is on the same page. You know I can read minds, except for one guy, this guy right here. Yeah, I know what you were thinking. You're like, whatever. What if she said Bill Cosby, right? You know, you didn't believe. Tell me, no, that's what you're thinking, right? Jackie Chan got it covered, man. That's called looking on the right side. You see how that works, man? That's so stupid. I'm sorry. But I love my life, man. I'm so blessed. I love what I do. I don't like that I can't use my left side, but I try and everything I do to look on the right side. And you guys can do that too, man. I do. I travel all over. The economy's tough. I'm feeling the pressure of the economy. A lot of people are like, oh, you're famous. You're on TV. First of all, not famous. Secondly, I'm definitely not rich. Yesterday, I went to Kentucky Fried Chicken. I had to lick other people's fingers. You know what I mean? I took an extra job because of the financial situation for years. I took an extra job. I'm a tour guide with senior citizen travel tours. Some of you look familiar. I'm just saying. I'm just serious. Come on. I did it, but I can't actually in the job. The first thing they told me, don't call them senior citizens. You can't say, apparently not politically correct. I'm not making this up, friends. Seasoned travelers. To me, that's all like an appetizer at Outback. So I call them bloomin' bunions. I mean, they're fun though. Think about it. I have a great time on these trips. I learn from them. They're learning from me. I can tell the same jokes every 15 minutes. They don't remember. You guys are like, too close to home. It's awesome. I do this trip, man. I do this gig. It's fun. I travel all over the country. And I'll be doing a trip from Alabama to the Grand Canyon, and they don't want to fly. You know that? How do we travel? Yeah, like giant buses. Look, I've been on the short bus. I know how that works. There's 52 of them on one bus. I walk in there, I feel like I just walked into 25 Walmarts all at once. Oh no, is this a Walmart town? Do you guys have a late night Walmart around here? Do you really? Class, have you ever been there after 11 o'clock at night? Anybody? Oh, good. You guys can help me out. Where do these people come from? You good? I mean, who needs a 780-pound bag of kitty litter and an ice scraper at 4 o'clock in the morning? If you go in there and there's a lady with an arm going out of her forehead, and her kid has 3 legs, I mean, there's only one other place on the planet you can find these people. A Greyhound bus. Anybody? Yeah. Let me tell you, the last time I rode a Greyhound bus, I called that TV show America's Most Wanted. I was like, dude, I found everybody. So I actually actually do this job, though. I love it. I travel all over with the seasoned travelers, and they're awesome. I have so much fun with them, and I learn from them. This guy, we were going to, it was just from Atlanta to Charleston, South Carolina, a short trip. This guy brought the suitcase on. It was like this big. I'm like, seriously, Daryl. I'm like, we're going 3 days. I'm like, how many things can you pack? I said, do you wear boxers or briefs? He goes, depends. I know, that's so hurtful. But this guy was cool, I love him. Because he was paralyzed like me, but on the right side. I know, that's like looking in a mirror for me, right? And then he sits next to me at dinner. Think about that. I'm like, well, Daryl, I guess there won't be any elbow bumping at this table. Oh my gosh, lighten up, people. It's cool. After dinner, I took him to Target. We bought some gloves. Everybody, that's just looking on the right side, you know what I'm saying? I actually do this job. You think I'm kidding, but I do it. I love traveling with seasoned travelers. And there's one of my favorite things is that they're so in love. They'll be 90 years old. They're still holding hands everywhere they go. They sit next to each other, and I love that. I love that. You know, I'm a single guy. That's the kind of relationship I want. All right, I don't want to date a 90-year-old woman. That's not what I'm saying. It's not easy being single. I mean, for me, look, ladies, I love you. You're awesome. But you kind of make me mad because you all say the same thing. My left side is paralyzed, and what do they all say? I can't find Mr. Right. How hard is that? Then I finally met a girl. Now, I met her online. I know, that's like going to Wendy's thinking your food is going to look like the picture on the menu. That's not going to happen. And I met her, and she told me she had an hourglass figure. I don't even know what that means until she got to my house, because she did. It was a lot later than she thought it was. Okay, we are. That's funny. And I told her to bring any movie she wanted over to my house. We'll watch a movie, right? So there's a million movies she could choose from, right? What movie does this girl bring to my house? Take a guess. That would be awesome. I would love that. You should have come over. Soul Surfer. If you don't know, this is a movie about a little girl that gets her left arm bit off by a shark. Is she mocking me? Really? But don't worry, I got her back, man. I made her watch it backwards. Just think about it now, right? It's an inspirational story about a magic shark. They're finding a handicapped girl and gives her an arm. That's my favorite joke. Nobody ever laughs at it, but I think it's funny. So I met this girl, and the first time I met her, I got to, do you have any idea how difficult it is to create a profile online using only the letters on the right side of the keyboard? My name was Ick. And then I get to her house, you know, like, she's like, hi, are you Derek? I was like, yes, I am. Can you walk my dog? Ladies, that can't be the second question, okay? When we just met, right? You guys know this. Second question is something, you know, like, where are you from? You know, how long have you lived here? How did you find lastresort.com? Something. But she was cute, so I said, yeah, I'll walk your dog, weirdo. Then it's a Chihuahua. I know, a dude can't walk a Chihuahua, right? He's wearing those skinny jeans, you know, that they wear. But so I said I went to me and Taco Bell, right? And as luck would have it, I run into my buddy, and he's walking his German Shepherd, you know, and he's like, nice dog, Derek. I'm like, it's not mine, but there's nothing I can do at this point, right? He goes, hey man, you want to grab an ice cream? The little ice cream shop we go to. I'm like, yeah, but obviously, we got to get rid of the dogs. I got Taco Bell, and he's got, you know, the German Shepherd, cool canine-looking dog, you know, and he's all, and I'm like, he goes, now these are the people I hang out with. This is my friend. He goes, no, man, I do this all the time. I'm like, what are you talking about? Stay with me. My friend, he's got German Shepherd on a leash, friends, and he throws on a pair of sunglasses. I'm not making this up. I have dumb friends, and he walks into this ice cream shop with a German Shepherd and sunglasses. They think he's blind. He orders an ice cream cone, and they give it to him for free. I know. Blind people, free ice cream in Atlanta, man. I had no idea. But I'm outside with Taco Bell, and I'm like, no way.
Good job.
This one's on me, don't worry.
Good job.
Sorry.
He holds his cord, not me.
How's that? Am I back? Yeah, I think I am. There we are. So I shouldn't have put these in the same pocket. That's where it starts. So my friend gets the free ice cream, and I'm outside with Taco Bell. I'm like, no way. Me and the Chihuahua. Can I get a chocolate shake? Sir, we don't serve people with animals. It's like, dude, it's my seeing eye dog. A Chihuahua is a seeing eye dog? I said, what? They gave me a Chihuahua? Looking on the right side. You see how that works? And I try to do that in all areas of my life. Try to look on the right side. And here's the greatest part of that, friend. You and me have access to something that we know about that is direct access to always having joy in the middle of the trials and whatever's going on, the ultimate right side. We have the key to it, man. We have direct access to a God who loves you and will never give you anything that's too big for you. And I love that. And we're talking about restoration today, Restoration Sunday. And when you talk about restoring yourself, there's no better way to do that than to learn to look on the right side, because we have the key to joy, to peace, to happiness, contentment, which doesn't go away. Paul says in Philippians 4:13 is a verse that a lot of us know. We have it on a keychain or on the mirror, a bumper sticker. I love those verses because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's an awesome verse. There's so much truth in that, and I love that. I would encourage you to read the verses around, like John 3:16, 1 John 1:9. Read the verses that are around them. They find out fall in the shadows of the keychain verses. There's some powerful stuff there. My favorite verse in the Bible is Philippians 4:12. It's right before Philippians 4:13. You got to understand the context. Paul is writing this. He's in prison. He's been beaten. He's been stoned. He's eventually going to get his head cut off and killed because he's doing the right things. That doesn't make any sense to me. See, Paul was a bad dude. I mean, he was essentially killing Christians, but he had power, money, strength, stature. He was a good-looking dude and everything. And then, road to Damascus, a lot of us know that story. He changes his whole life, full speed ahead. He wrote most of the New Testament, the biggest proclaimer of the gospel other than Jesus ever. He changes his life. In my mind, God is going to bless him even more now, right? That's the way I think. No. His life turns 180 in every situation. He's eventually going to be killed because he loves Jesus and he's doing the right thing. It doesn't make any sense to me. See, God doesn't make sense. Think of it this way. If God was small enough to be understood, he wouldn't be big enough to be worshipped. See, friends, our job is not to understand God. That's impossible. But he does love you. He promises you that he'll take care of your situation. And that's all we have to worry about. It doesn't make everything easy. That's not what I'm saying. But it's peaceful to me knowing I have that. And Paul said, that's a big setup for this one verse, sorry. It's hard for me not to preach. I know I'm supposed to be doing comedy, but when I'm on stage at a church, I love you guys, man. I just want to give you a little bit of truth. So Paul says in Philippians 4:12, he's in prison when he's writing this. Understand that. It's a big deal. Paul says, I have had everything and I have had nothing. I've been hungry and I've been well fed. Understand, he could say that because he literally more than any of us. And now he's in the nothing stage when he's writing that. That's important, remember that. And he says, I have learned the secrets of being content in any and every situation. Okay, friends, think about that. He's doing the right thing now. He used to have everything. Now he's got nothing. I would be like, God, what's the deal, man? I'm doing what you wanted me to do, and now I'm going to die, and I'm in prison. That's not Paul's attitude. He's like, I've learned the secret of being content. Even in prison when I'm doing the right thing. I want to know that secret. If there's something that is that secret that gives that level of contentment, I want to know what it is, friends. And we have it. That's the cool thing. And guess how much it costs? Nothing. It's free. The price has been paid, man. We have direct access to that secret. And that's what I want to talk about. Paul's life had bigger troubles than all of us. I know our troubles are big, and a lot of us have things that I can't even begin to understand. But God has a secret for you. God is a secret to you for contentment in that situation. And I love that. And that's what I want to talk about for a minute. Because I've spent a lot of time, my troubles or whatever happen to be physical. They're a little more obvious. I don't like the fact that I can't use my left side. I was an athlete. And football was my thing. I was probably going to play pro. I ended up playing basketball overseas with one arm and one leg, like this. And then it wasn't the Special Olympics or anything, a real league. So you can imagine how good I was when I had two hands, right? You know? So sports are a big part of my life. That was taken away. I didn't like that. I still don't like that. I don't like that I don't, but it doesn't mean that I can't have contentment. That's the beauty of it. And I want to talk about that for a second because I believe that the secret that we have, I know that the secret that we have is so much more powerful than what, psychologists or, Dr. Phil or whatever will tell you. I mean, we got the truth, friends. And you guys know that. And that restoration, there's nothing that we can't be restored from. And I love that. It's so powerful. I want to share with you 3 secrets that will help you to learn to have that contentment, okay? And we're at Beulah Baptist Church, right? Say it with me. Beulah Baptist Church. If you can remember that, you can remember these 3 secrets, okay? I didn't think about that, BBC. It's like the British News Channel, right? Isn't there something like that? Well, if you remember that too, it'll work. Just remember BBC. Say it with me, ready? BBC. There you go. If you can remember that, friends, you can remember the secrets to learning to have this contentment. The first one stands for bring on the impossible. Okay? I love that. Because, friend, here's the thing, friends. People say, I'm a motivational speaker. Like, I'll get hired by Coca-Cola to come in and talk to their salespeople. And you've seen, like, Tony Robbins and, these motivational speakers. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? And they'll come on stage and be like, you can do anything you put your mind to. Right? That's a load of crap. I'm sorry. Oh, great. Now I've said crap. But you can't. Some things are impossible. That doesn't mean you can't have contentment. Think about it. I have no left arm. I'm not going to tie my shoes. Does that mean I can't have joy? Not for a second. Think about, like, Shaquille O'Neal, okay? He's not going to win the Triple Crown in horse racing. Okay, maybe it's the horse. But he's not going to win. But that doesn't mean that he's not going to be happy. See, friends, impossible. Some things are impossible. That doesn't mean sad. That doesn't mean lack of contentment. That just means some things are impossible. Let's say I do a lot of speaking to businesses, and let's say a business's goal is to make $1 million an hour. I would suggest that's probably impossible, except for the businesses that I'm talking to, you know what I mean? But let's say that's over here, that's impossible, and right now they're here. If they say bring on the impossible, and they operate their business in such a way that they're pursuing that, they're going to start here, they're going to end up here, or here. They're going to see that they're going to be better off towards contentment, towards loving their life, and towards getting the goals that they wanted that is impossible. So I say bring on the impossible. A lot of people say run away from it. And here's what's really cool, friends. Sometimes when you do that, you'll find out when you do this, when you attempt to bring on the impossible, things will happen, and you learn that there's things that were impossible that become possible. Don't you wish you sat in the front now? How about a double knot? You want to see that? There you go. I do that for 2 reasons. Number one, that'll be the only thing you'll remember. You'll be talking to somebody and say, I went to this church and I was like, what'd you learn? The guy taught me to tie his shoes with one hand. Really? What are you talking about? I don't know. He tied his shoes with one hand. For that reason, and the other reason I do it is because only me and kindergartners get applause when we do that. So bring on the impossible, friends. And that thing in your life, there's so many things that I'm never going to get this relationship worked out. I'll never pass this grade in school. My parents will never get along. I'll never get a house or whatever. Some of those things may be impossible, but bring it on, man, and operate your life and pursue that. Does that make sense? Okay, good. So bring on the impossible. So BCC. The first C stands for change obstacles into opportunities. Okay? We've all got obstacles in our life, some big obstacles in our life. I'm telling you that the bigger the obstacle, the bigger the opportunity. Okay? I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I've had some big obstacles in my life. I've been very blessed to try to learn how to turn them into opportunities. I learned this from my mom when I was a kid, and I hated it when I learned it. See, my mom is the most beautiful woman ever. She's got so much wisdom. I love her. I want to be like her and all that. But when I was a kid, I didn't see the wisdom in it. I just hated it. Because let's say I crash my bike and my tire's broken and I'm crying, my stupid bike, man. And I get home, I'm like, oh, my bike. This is my mom, genuinely from her core. This is my mom. Oh, Derek, what a wonderful opportunity to learn how to fix a bike. What? I'm 7. I don't want an opportunity. I want a tire. You know what I mean? This is genuinely how my mom thinks. I love it now because I learned it, but I hated it then. I also believe in a God that has a sense of humor. Are you guys with me on that? Mm-hmm. He created humor. I go home to New York for Thanksgiving a few years ago, and I try to get there right at dinner time so I don't have to do anything. And I get there, and my mom is a woman, she's beautiful, she doesn't get flustered, she's calm, she's got that contentment that we talked about. But at this time, I get there, and she's sweating, and she's going around the kitchen, and things are, and I'm like, Mom, what's going on? She goes, Aunt Mary forgot the casserole, and the oven's not working, and my mom's kind of flustered and everything. And I'm standing there in the doorway, I'm like, ding! I go, Mom, what a wonderful opportunity. She goes, not now, Terry. I said, that's how I felt when I was 7. That's awesome. But I learned that obstacles are opportunities, friends. I'll tell you one more story about that, because this is big. Every obstacle. And again, please don't hear me patronizing your situation. I don't have any idea what the pain of divorce is, but that's huge. There's a lot of things I don't have any idea what that's like. You probably don't know what it's like to have no left side. That doesn't matter. God does, you do, and He promises you have a key, a secret to contentment, even in that thing. Here's a story about a kid. And I don't mind talking about my accident. I don't want to take any more time doing it here, but I'll talk to you after if you're interested, if you have questions or whatever. I know it's kind of weird and all that, but I'll tell you about it. But this kid was the same age as me. He had a car accident, and he lost his left arm. It had to be amputated. He was an athlete like myself. He wanted to still do sports. Somebody tells him that he can do judo with one arm. Now, I don't know anything about judo, but apparently he started taking these lessons because this kid had a great attitude, and that's a big part of the contentment we're talking about, is a good attitude. So he starts taking these lessons, but his master is teaching him just one move, over and over and over and over, the same move. And this kid, he's 14, he's like, Master, how come I'm going to trust me? Says the master. The kid's like, all right, again, good attitude. They're 5 months into it, and the master says, okay, we're ready for the state competition. The kid's like, all right, man, look. I got 5 months experience. I have one move, and if you notice, I have no left arm. And the master says the same thing. He says, trust me. The kid's like, all right, you know what? Again, he's got a good attitude. That's important. Let's remember that. He's like, I'm going to get a free trip to another town. I'm going to meet some new friends. It'll be fun. I'll get some exercise. I'll lose, but it'll be cool, so I'll do it. So he agrees. He goes there. He wins the first round of this tournament, guys. He wins the second round. He wins the third round. If he gets to the championship match of this tournament, nobody can figure it out, including himself, can figure it out. And then he's got to fight this guy that's never lost. And he's 15, and he's big, and his kid's like, Master, this isn't great, but have you seen this guy with his big 2 arms? And I'm a little... And the master says the same thing. He says, trust me. The kid says, all right. He goes in there, longest match of the whole tournament. But he wins, guys. He wins his whole tournament. Nobody can figure it out. You can imagine a celebration, right? Television, newspaper, people are going crazy. And at the end, it's just him and his master in the locker room. Celebration's done. And he says, Master, look, this is the best experience of my entire life. There's no way that I could ever thank you for what you've done here. But I just don't understand. How is this possible? These kids have done it their whole life, 2 arms, 20 moves, whatever. I have 5 months of experience. I have 1 move, and I have no left arm. And the master looks right at him. He says, son, I taught you that move for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's the most effective move in all of judo. And number 2, the only defense against that move is to grab your opponent's left arm. Some of you have like a 5-second delay. I love that. So I love that story because I can relate to it. I have an arm, but it doesn't work. And it's powerful, it's funny, but here's what I want you to think about for 2 seconds. Friends, we're looking for our left arm. We're saying, man, if I was married, or if I got that house, I'd have a little bit more money, or if I was to get this relationship thing worked out, if I could pass these things in school, or if I had friends in school, or whatever, then I would be happy. It's totally normal to have those thoughts. I have them every day. I'm not condemning that. I would say bring those to God every day when you have those thoughts. Think about them. I'm not saying they're bad. All I'm saying is that, friends, we have a master, and he's saying one thing. He's saying, trust me. He's got it figured out. You guys with me on that? Amen. Isn't that awesome? It doesn't matter how big the obstacle It doesn't matter how big that obstacle is, friends. Every obstacle is an opportunity. So the BCC, the B stands for bring on the what? Impossible. That's right, one person. Awesome. Bring on the impossible. The first C is change obstacles into opportunity. Okay, and the last C, the third C, if you just walked in, you didn't hear the first 2, it would really be okay if you could work on this one. The last C stands for choose love. Okay, choose what? Love. Now I'm going to be honest with you. The first time I hear the word love, my first thought is REO Speedwagon, couple skate, holding hands for the first time. Some of you know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, that is awesome, right? That is a gift from God, that feeling, and that's a great thing. That's not what I want to talk about this morning. The whole message of the Bible, friends, the Bible isn't a list of rules of things you have to do to be a good person or have to do to get to heaven, and don't do this and don't hang out with these people and don't say that. A lot of people, unfortunately, see Christianity, following Christ, as that. That's not what it is, man. I'm sorry if that's what you're thinking. It's not. That's not it at all. The whole message of the Bible, the entire message, is love. Jesus was being trapped by these guys called the Pharisees and Sadducees. They were people that were, back then in Jesus' time, there was laws, like literally thousands, without exaggeration, thousands of laws that you had to do. You had to do this, on this day, and you had to give this much money, and you had to put this on your head, and you couldn't wear this, and they were all laws. So these people thought they were so great because they followed all those laws. And Jesus comes along, and he's like, you guys don't get it, man. But they wanted him out of there because he was telling a different message. His message was love. And they didn't like that because they followed all the rules. They didn't have any love in them. So they tried to trap him when they were trying to get him killed, and they said, and I love this about Jesus, friends, Jesus was so cool, he was funny, he was clever, he was strong, he was just a man. And they tried to catch him, and they said, tell us, what is the most important commandment? Thinking that there's no way he could pick one because there's thousands, and then that means he's saying the other ones aren't good. So they think they got him, they're all excited, and this is how cool Jesus is, friends. He says, oh, really? He doesn't hesitate at all. He goes, greatest commandment is love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. And then I love this about Jesus. He goes, and the second one, they didn't ask him for two. Isn't that awesome? He's like, really? You're going to try to trap me? I'll give you two. And he says, the second one is love your neighbor as yourself. And then he says this, guys. This is Jesus. If you're a Christian, Christ is what we're following. Jesus said this. He said, all of the other commandments, all those thousands of things that you're following, every one of them is wrapped up in these two. If Jesus, the one we're imitating, trying to imitate, said that, then I want to know those two commandments. Love God, love your neighbor. Jesus said, that's it. That's what we got to do. And everything else gets wrapped up into that. I love that, man. And that makes it, I'm a simple person. I like simple things. That does not mean easy. Hear me. You still have struggles. You still have to look on the right side. But Jesus said, love. Man, that's what it is. And then Paul, who I talked about earlier, another one of my favorite verses, and it's not a keychain verse. It's not one that you've memorized most likely or have on a bumper sticker. And the reason is because the first part talks about circumcision, so you can't put that on a keychain, I don't think. I think there's probably a Baptist rule against that or something. But understand why, and now you're all like, okay, you got to go, dude. You said alcohol. Galatians. Paul's writing a letter to the Galatians, the people of Galatia, and he says, he was talking about circumcision because in that time, understand, in Paul's time, that was something people argued about. Are you or aren't you? It's kind of like people say red pews. No, they got to be blue because blue is the color of, whatever. And people arguing. Churches split over that kind of silly stuff. But it really happens, and you guys know this stuff happens. Paul is addressing that. He's like, you guys are worried about those rules, and that was one of the issues then. So that's why that's in that verse, and that's why it's not on a keychain, but it's important stuff. And then Paul says this. He goes, none of that stuff matters. That's so important. Raise your hand if you believe the Bible is true. Anybody in here believe the Bible is true? I'm going to say everybody in this room, okay, this is in the Bible. You believe that this is true then. Paul says, the only thing that counts. Okay, Paul says this. It's in the Bible. You just raise your hand. You believe the Bible is true. This is in the Bible. The only thing that counts is, okay, I want to know what that is. Because I believe the Bible, I believe is true. If you tell me the only thing that counts, I want to know what it is. Just the only thing that counts is faith expressing itself through love. So now Paul's told us it's the only thing that counts. Jesus said it's the most important thing that everything else is wrapped up in. Friends, I want to pursue this love. I want to find out what it is. It's a lifelong journey. It's impossible to be there, to be at the place where you want to be. Love. This love is not REO Speedwagon love. This love is putting other people's needs in front of your own. Okay, that's hard to do. Innately, we're not wired that way. When you were born, when you were a kid, nobody taught you how to be selfish. Nobody taught you how to smack your little brother around. Nobody taught you how to steal a toy in nursery school. You didn't have to learn that stuff. That's who we are. That's who we were because of the sin. You guys know the story. It's in us. So to put other people's needs in front of ours, it's hard to do, man. It goes against our wiring. But it's so rewarding when you do it. And it's the way that Jesus modeled perfectly for us. He did it to the ultimate example of putting his life in front of ours. That's the love, friends, that I want to encourage you to choose. When you choose that love, it changes your life, it changes the lives of people around you, and you become something you never thought you could, and those obstacles start to become clearer and clearer in the opportunity that they are. Does that make sense? So the B stands for bring on the impossible. The C stands for change obstacles into opportunities, and the big C stands for choose what? Love. Choose love, friends. Now here's the thing. I really, really, really genuinely have tried to to learn as much as I can about this. And I went to a Christian college, and I have a lot of mentors, and I want to learn how to do this. And nothing has taught me more about it than, I'm one of 4 siblings, and one of my sisters is one of these people, and you know somebody like this. She's beautiful, she's funny, she's successful, she owns her own business, she lights up a room, she's got a million friends, and everybody wants to know her. Like, people, honest to God, people know me as, oh, that's Julie's brother. They don't even know me, you know, I'm just Julie. And you know what, I'm cool with that, because Julie has taught me so much. My sister has taught me so much about this kind of love that I'm talking about, in a way that nobody else could have. And guess what? Julie's in town. Would you guys like to meet my sister Julie? Oh, you got it. She's also smarter than me. So. Do you want me to hold that? Or? Is it on? Check it.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. This is my beautiful sister Julie, by the way. We were talking about this type of love, and I told her how she's taught me more about this than anything, and she was written some thoughts down here on her awesome iPad. Isn't that cool? I'm going to get one of those. Yeah, I bought an iPad. She's like, oh, that's awesome. I'm like, all right. I'm going to get another one eventually, though. So you ready? She's like, can I talk?
Hi, my name is Julie. Is this on?
Yeah, it's on. Hi, my name is...
Hi, my name is Julie Tennant. I am...
Oh, sorry. I got in the way of the words.
I have Down syndrome, and I love my life. Down syndrome means that... Down syndrome means I have an extra chromosome that nobody in my family has.
Julie loves... Whatever. She loves to brag that she got a chromosome that I didn't. But shut up, you don't have it either.
My grandfather calls it a love chromosome. He says when people make fun of me, it's because they are missing something, not me. God made me this way, and I know that He loves me. I like having Down syndrome because it makes me different and I like being unique. Down syndrome also means I am slow to learn, but that's not bad as long as you are learning something, right?
I told you she's smarter than me.
Like Derek is slow in the kitchen, so he's over the speaker.
Wait a second. That was not in the script. Can we change it? Okay, see, she'll change it.
And he's cereal, too.
Wait a second. Apparently the love chromosome doesn't stop you from making fun of your brother.
And besides, I'd rather be here. And besides, I'd rather be slow to learn than slow to love. Today I am so happy.
Happy.
Today I am so happy to be here in Pensacola, Florida.
No, I just hit the thing and it moved. Sorry. Just start right there. Oh, sorry. I keep hitting it and it slides down like that. But that's from last night when we did the thing we did last night. Remember? The date night? This isn't a date night.
We're going to have fun here, though.
We already are, yeah. Yes, that's right.
Right. And that's just awesome. And now I just have one thing to say. I love my life, and you can too.
That's my awesome sister, Julie, and you can see that she has a key, a way of knowing how to love. And if you guys have any connection with anybody with Down syndrome, you know. They have the love chromosome. Julie was born with it. I'll tell you, actually tell them about, it doesn't mean her life is easy, it doesn't mean, oh, everything's fine for her, she's always happy, and no, there's challenges, right? You have struggles in your life too, right? Tell them about flying. This, I know I didn't tell you we were going to talk about that, but your verse, your favorite verse.
Oh, the Psalm 56.
Yeah, let's say it.
Well, let's say it, this is, Psalm 56, 3 and 4, is, when I'm afraid, I will trust in you. What will man do to me?
And when you think about that, she flies, Julie lives in Syracuse, New York, I live in Atlanta, and we travel a lot together, so she'll fly down to Atlanta, and sometimes when the plane gets there, she gets a little panicky, right? So what did we change? You changed the verse to be, what can mortal...
Airplanes do to me.
Isn't that awesome? That's amazing. So, and then tell them about your job, the job you had.
I had a bakery job named Penny Curtis, and, I was in the tax kitchen department, they government. I was in charge of lunch rolls, everything. And I've done it for 12 years. And then it shut down. It took 150 people out of a job, and me too.
Yeah, the place went out of business. And did you like that job because of the hours or the money or what was good about that job?
I really wanted people because they felt like a family to me.
So when that job went away, we tried for, Julie was again in New York, and she was trying to find another job. What were some of the places? Oh yeah, the pretzel place and everything. And did any of them feel good?
No.
Couldn't find another job. This was a big obstacle for Julie, so then what'd you do?
Well, I put that my first statement, it says I love my life, and I told them, I got an idea, let's make a t-shirt out of it. And actually I have one on now.
Look at that. What are the chances?
I got the biggest with the road. Yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, hold this.
Why do I get the little one?
You got one here, you can hold it.
That's my beautiful sister. She gets me a lot like that, you know. Like she drew this picture. Well, tell them what it is.
It's two stick figures playing catch. Me and my brother.
She's the.
My mother like, and the website is lovechromosome.com.
And if you go there, you can connect on Facebook and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. And her Facebook page, if you get on there and friend it or like it or whatever, it'll change your life. She posts things like every day, you know, what's your favorite color? M&M. Well, not every day, sorry, sometimes. But like 250 people will respond to that. And it's just a simple way to have a little bit of joy during the day. So I'd encourage you to do that if you're on Facebook. Some of you are like, what's Facebook? Don't worry about it. These shirts are really soft. And we brought a few of these shirts. We're on a little tour, and we were able to, this is so cool that Shane called me, and we were able to work this out in between when we were on this tour. Normally, Julie wouldn't be with me on the road, but it just worked out, so we're here. So we have some of these in the break. If you want to get a shirt, Julie has some of her shirts out there, and she brought mine up here, too. And now, these are just in my trunk, because I'm a stand-up comic, and I travel all over the country. My shirts, there's no deep spiritual meaning here. It just says you looked way better on Facebook. So, if you want to give on, this one's for you, Shane. Give him a round of applause. I want to share a quick story. It tells you about this kind of love, friends, and I'm telling you, to have that secret of contentment. And it means, Paul said it means any situation. I don't know your situation. You could have a cold or whatever. I know. But we have a secret to contentment, and the biggest thing about that is love, friends. Jesus said it's the thing that wraps everything up. Paul said it's the only thing that counts. Love, friends. Focus on that. Julie was born with the love chromosome. She didn't have to learn this. She loved. She genuinely loves people. I believe in the way Jesus did. No conditions. She loves people. Julie was 5 years old. Check this out. She's 5 years old. She's in New York at the grocery store with my mom. My mom carries her up to the register. This guy walks in the door. And my mom works with homeless. She works for rescuing. She's a beautiful woman, the most giving woman ever. This guy walks in, and he's got a torn-up trench coat. His hair's so greasy, it's in clumps. You know, he probably smells too, right? But my mom's not going to get close enough to find out. But understand, and her first thought, I think a lot of us relate to this, you know, a block away, this guy could get a shower and a shave and start working on things. That was her first thought. I think a lot of us could relate to that. And at 5 years old, she set Julie down to write the check. And instantly, Julie runs to this guy, 5 years old. She doesn't walk. She runs to this guy, both arms outstretched. This guy picks Julie up, and she nestles herself, friend, into this guy's disgusting, dirty neck. And Mom's in the room. You know exactly what happened next to my mom. Forget the checkbook. She ran faster than she's ever run in her life. She grabs Julie back. She's like, "Excuse me, that's my daughter." And she grabs Julie back. And what happens next, friends, is burned into my mom's memory like it happened today. This guy looks at my mom with tears rolling down his dirty cheeks. And he just says, "Lady, I can't tell you the last time somebody wanted to hold me." You see, guys, we see a person and we judge them. Julie, with the love chromosome, she sees a need and she hugs it. She's got it figured out, man. I mean, isn't that awesome? So, friends, laughter is a big part of having contentment, and I'm so glad you allowed me to laugh with you a little bit today and have fun with you. Thank you. We're going to stick around, and I hear there's food. I know it's a Baptist church, so within 50 yards, I guarantee there's pot roast and casserole, and so we're staying for that. I'm telling you that much. A water balloon fight. What church are you going to? Maybe. No, we're so glad to be here. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here. We'd love to talk to you. Any questions or whatever. If you want a shirt, we've got a few. We didn't plan on selling it, so we've got some of them. So get there. And do you have any Cool Man shirts?
I think I have a few left, yeah.
She started a new line. This is like a month ago, and it's another stick figure guy that's like doing this against the wall with sunglasses. It just says "Cool Man" because she likes to say that all the time. So she's got a couple of those too. But we'll leave you with this, because friends, the key to having that contentment is given to us for free. We have access to it, and we have access to wisdom that'll give us that. And our pursuit in life, especially as Christians, is wisdom. My parents, I would suggest, have a lot of wisdom, and I want to share with you this story that illustrates what true wisdom is. Because when we were kids, there's 4 of us. Julie was 3 years old, and this is in New York. My dad would read a Bible story. This is a Bible story, and every night, and then he would ask. Yes, some people in New York read the Bible. Not a lot, but some. And this night he read the story of Noah's Ark. A lot of us know that story, right? He reads the story and then he would ask us questions. And he says, who built the giant boat?
I know.
Julie.
Jesus.
Jesus, she says. And granted, she's 3 years old. Dad reads the next question. How many animals are on the giant boat?
I know.
Julie.
Jesus.
Jesus, she says again. So friends, my mom that night actually said to my dad, and my parents have wisdom, this is what she said to my dad. She said, "Aw, poor Julie. She thinks Jesus is the answer to everything." Thanks for letting us be here, guys. We love you. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Love Chromosome. Give them another hand. You can say, "Give me